What's up, everybody? It's a waitingfornextyear.com podcast, solo edition. It's a weekend, and I've got some stories for you. I've got some different things that I want to talk about. So I cracked a microphone. I'm also going to skip my advertising today. Just know that there are sponsorships by two companies, FanDuel and Audible, and if you want to sign up for either one of those, you could really help us out if you go do that from our pages. The links will be on the pages. So that's really it from the promotional standpoint. I'm going to talk about the Browns. I'm going to talk about Johnny Manziel and his comments on Merril Hoge. But first, I need to tell a story because I had something happen on Friday that I kind of felt good about and kind of felt bad about simultaneously. And I'm just going to take the temperature. I'm going to ask you guys. So I'm going to tell you the story. I'm going to tell you in the most accurate way that I can what happened, and then you're going to tell me whether I'm a jerk or whether you would have done the same thing. So I'm in line, the drive-thru line at Dunkin Donuts to get some coffee, and it's backed up, man. It's like super slow. I can't figure out what's going on. And so I order my coffee, large hot coffee, cream, and 4 Splenda. Judge me if you will, but that's my coffee. And I'm driving around, and it's lined up, and everything seems to be taking a really, really long time, and I can't figure out what's going on because I'm seeing the orders come out the window, and they're just drinks and bags and whatever else. And so then, I'm one away, and finally I get up to the window, and I hand my credit card over, and she says, "Oh, you're good. The person in front of you covered yours. Do you want to pick up the person behind you?" And I was kind of confused for a second. And I was like, "Oh no, I'm in one of those silly pay it forward chains. I'm in the middle of a pay it forward chain." And as it turned out, I knew the guy behind me. And he ordered 2 cups of coffee because I work with him. He ordered 2 cups of coffee because he was taking one for him and the guy he works with. And so I kind of was like, well, it'd be weird if I bought him his coffee. It's strange because I just want to pay for my coffee. On certain days, maybe it would be a generous thing. And I would say, yes, I want to pay for my coffee and I want to buy whatever the person behind me had. Okay. That's generous. That's doing something. But if everybody one after another is just paying for somebody else's stuff, then it's just like the most inefficient thing in the world. And so before I could even really think about any of this, I just no, I don't want to pay for the person behind me. And so this lady, she kind of looks at me. She says, "Well, you're good then." She hands me my credit card back, and then she turns and looks behind her away from the mic, and she goes, "All right, guys, it's broken. It's broken. Chain's broken now." And I was just like, okay, so that made me feel bad. Like I broke this pay it forward chain, but at the same time, it's not a pay it forward chain. It was only generous by the person who started it. And thereafter, it's an inefficient line of people paying for other people's stuff. It's an inefficient way for Dunkin Donuts to run their business because I figured out why the line was so slow. Every single time people came up to just pay for the stuff that they understand that transaction, they were being told, "No, yours has been covered, but if you want, you can take your credit card and pay for the person behind you." And then people were probably like, well, what did the person behind me have? Because if they got $27 worth of stuff and I just got this 1 cup of coffee, I don't want to pay $27 worth because I just bought 1 cup of coffee. And if I pay it forward, then I have to buy, this guy might have bought a breakfast for his entire office. And so it's these explanations, which were number one, slowing down the entire line. And number two, it's a charade. It's not magnanimous. You're not being a good person for covering the food of the person behind you if you got your food for free. Okay. I feel like I'm repeating myself, but I was mad. I felt bad, like I was the jerk, because she made me feel like the jerk the way she turned around and said, "Chain's been broken." But at the same time, I felt kind of good about myself because she thought that it was this like beautiful humanitarian moment, and it wasn't. It's not. That's not what that is. It's every now and then, if somebody pays for the person behind them, that's a generous thing. This is not that. So you can tell me what you think. I want your feedback on this. Also, I know there are a lot of parents out there who are like me and have to read bedtime stories, and I'm going to kind of out myself. Sometimes I'm a little bit tired at the end of the night, and I don't really feel like I read one book and the kid wants two or wants a third book, and I'm just like, no, I'm done with that. So I've taken to looking for fairy tales and kids books and different things on YouTube, and people will convert storybooks and the fables and fairy tales into these little YouTube videos. And so I'll look up something like Snow White or Cinderella, and then I'll look for the 3-minute version. You know, I'm obviously not looking for some 90-minute version of whatever. The PBS people, they just, a note for all the parents out there, if you want to do this, the PBS people put Clifford, the big red dog clips, and they chopped them up. So they're like 2 and 3 minute clips, so that if you're tired and you don't want to read that one last storybook and you want to plaster one YouTube video on at the end, big red dog, search for Clifford on YouTube, put it on your phone, hold it up. 3 minutes later, you give him a kiss goodnight and say, yeah, good night. It's great. But so anyway, my youngest son is obsessed, absolutely obsessed with the Three Little Pigs right now. And we've got the Disney storybook with the golden book with the golden spine. And I've been reading that. And then we find different YouTube videos of it and everything else. And so I found this one on this YouTube channel, and I was like, all right, Three Little Pigs, perfect. Except it's the Three Little Pigs story. It's 3 minutes and 18 seconds, which obviously drew my attention because Walt Disney's The Three Little Pigs from 1933. If you find that one, it's 8 minutes long. 8 minutes long. And 8 minutes is a very long time in the reading to your kid bedtime story world. The bedtime story world. So I found this one, I click on it, and it's like on Netflix where you go to watch Deep Impact, or what was the other movie with the asteroid and Bruce Willis, Armageddon. And you're looking for that movie, and then you type something in, and it's like the last Armageddon, and the box looks kind of the same, and you start watching it and you realize, oh, this is like a cheap knockoff. This was somebody playing search engine games with keywords trying to trick me into watching these things. Well, I don't know if somebody owns the rights to the Three Little Pigs story. I don't know if it's in the public domain and anybody can do it, but these people decided that they were going to create some approximation of the Three Little Pigs story that we've all heard, and it's like my son likes it just fine, but for me it's like offensive. It drives me crazy. So I'm going to play you some of these clips because it's really, really annoying, but it's worth making fun of. So listen to all the little things that are not actually the Three Little Pigs that we know.
The Three Little Pigs. Once upon a time, there were 3 little pigs, and the time came for them to seek their fortunes and build their houses. The first little pig built himself a house of straw.
So
the
far,
middle
so
brother
good.
decided to build a house of sticks.
Yep, know that one.
It wasn't either a very strong house, but the third pig, the oldest, decided to build a house of bricks. He did not mind hard work because he wanted a strong house. Because he knew that in the woods nearby there was a wolf who liked to catch little pigs and eat them up.
There was a wolf who liked to catch little pigs, not the big bad wolf, just a wolf, any old wolf. This is like the most generic version of the story ever, and they're like hammering you over the head with the morality of the tale too. Wait till you get to the wolf song. Hang on a second.
When the 3 houses were finished, The three little pigs were happy dancing and singing. Who is scared of Furious Wolf? Furious Wolf, Furious Wolf. Who is scared of Furious Wolf?
Who in the hell is Furious Wolf? Can somebody tell? It's the big bad wolf. Who is Furious Wolf? Is this some knockoff that's well known? Am I just unaware of this? So that song, Who is Scared of Furious Wolf, sung horribly by whoever's reading the story, is now something that my youngest identifies with, and he thinks that's the way it's supposed to go. And now I'm paying the price for finding the shortest Three Little Pigs video that I could find on YouTube. I'm going to play that again just because it's going to embarrass everybody, and I want to get stuck in everybody else's heads.
We're happy dancing and singing. Who is scared of Furious Wolf? Furious Wolf, Furious Wolf. Who is scared of Furious Wolf?
Did you like that? I know you like that, right? Who is scared of Furious Wolf? Oh, it's so awful. So awful. All right. So anyway, the Browns have finally some sports for you. The Browns have the Tennessee Titans coming up, and former Pittsburgh Steeler Merril Hoge again is all over Johnny Manziel, calling him out. Like, I get that you might not believe in Johnny Manziel. You might not think he's ever going to be a good quarterback. I certainly have my doubts now too. But it's kind of crazy how much Merril Hoge continues to go after this guy. It's abnormal. If you think Johnny Manziel is so bad, then you wouldn't bother spending this much time pissing on him. Like, let's be honest. If you thought that Johnny Manziel was this meaningless in the timeline of football, you just let it go. You wouldn't waste your time being so mad about it or bashing him about it. But Merril Hoge, he loves to talk about Johnny Manziel, and he loves to we know the chances of him being a great quarterback are slim at this point. But it's like Merril Hoge just wants to remind everybody, yeah, I've hated this guy forever. I still hate this guy. You know who hates Johnny Manziel? Merril Hoge. That's who. And so finally, the Browns quarterback Johnny Manziel got a chance to respond. I've got that clip as well. Hang on one second.
And ready to go when Sunday comes around.
Johnny, isn't there something inside that makes you want to shut up people like Merril Hoge?
I think Merril Hoge needs to worry about his big neckties more than anything. But talking about Merril, I mean, he's been that way since I've decided to come out. So come out into the draft. So
notice Johnny Manziel said, "Come out into the draft." Do you think in his mind he was going, "Hey, wait, if somebody gets a hold of this clip, they're going to think I'm coming out of the closet"? Because he seemed to correct it real quick. Anyway.
I guess that's really part of it, but no extra motivation or extra bump from me or anything like that. It's just go out and play and provide them with the way that we go out and win on Sunday. That's what we want to do. And ready to go.
By the way, that's at H_Grove on Twitter, Hayden Grove, I think from the OBR. But anyway, so Johnny Manziel talking about Merril Hoge, and Merril Hoge is talking about Johnny Manziel in a week where the Browns said that if Josh McCown was healthy, that Johnny basically wasn't going to play anyway. And that's really where we've arrived in this Johnny Manziel storyline. It doesn't matter. It's not important. It's not important to talk about Johnny Manziel. If he makes something of his career, fine. But it's not like there's another side of that argument anymore. There's no. If you want a compelling argument, you need a pro and a con, okay? And the only people who think that Johnny Manziel is going to be a great NFL quarterback at this point are Browns fans with wishful thinking. At this point, based on what he did his rookie year, it's all the pressure's on Johnny Manziel to prove that he can be. There's nobody out there trying to prove the haters right. The haters kind of won at this point. It's in their column. So Merril Hoge hating Johnny Manziel, it's not interesting. I mean, that's kind of the winning side of the argument at this point. So it doesn't even make any sense. It really doesn't. The last thing that I'm going to play today is just for fun, because the Indians won last night, and they scored 6 runs in 1 inning, which was phenomenal. But that was capped off by a ridiculous Carlos Santana grand slam that he really crushed it. I think maybe a third, almost halfway up the bleachers and left. And this morning we got a chance to post that video on Waiting for Next Year, where the good people on Facebook, the Tom Hamilton Facebook page, I can't remember Tom Hamilton has the best home run call in all of baseball, something wordy like that. But they like to sync up Tom Hamilton's call with the video. And so they did that this morning. We posted it on our website, and I'm just going to leave you with that. That's the last sound you're going to hear on this podcast. And please, again, I'm not going to read the commercials, but if you do want to sign up for FanDuel or Audible, you can find the links on our page. Thanks so much for listening. The Buckeyes and the Browns are playing, and we'll obviously have plenty of talk about them next week. I've got some guests lined up already, absolutely lined up for sure. I'm not hoping, I'm hoping they show up to talk to me, but I actually have them booked. So at least 2 podcasts next week, plus the Browns Friday Fumble. Please, that's your homework. I want to know if you're enjoying the Browns Friday Fumble. The numbers are good, so it seems like people are listening, but I want some actual feedback that you listen to Dave Sterling and Dylan Price on the Browns Friday Fumble and you're enjoying it so far, or what kind of segment you'd want to hear. But I want some feedback on that. So find me on Twitter at WFNY Craig, on the Facebook page, WFNY Podcast, wherever. Give us some feedback on the Browns Friday Fumble. That's it. We'll talk to you next week. It's been the waitingfornextyear.com podcast.
The wind and the pitch. Swung on, hit high, hit deep to left, away back, gone! A prodigious grand slam, almost halfway up the bleachers in left field. And Carlos Santana has hit his 2nd career grand slam, and the Indians have a 6-run third.